If you're not willing to invest in your future, why the fuck would anybody else? And don't be surprised, like... Vale with his question. Vale says... Vale always warms me up with a compliment. then he comes with a long question. That's his MO. That's what Vale does. That's alright, Vale. Here you are. What's good, Vale? Vale says, Dear, question, sir. Are there instances in my professional and personal life that... he says, there are instances in my professional and personal life that I tense up and freeze and end up withholding my real emotions and perspective or information on the matter because I'm afraid that I will get fired or my subordinates will not do their jobs or make it hard for me or my mom will not love me anymore. Linking this back to the concept, there is a positive correlation between higher income and willingness to engage in aggression or violence. My awareness of this is a start of change, but what better way can I be thinking, doing about this? Is this loss aversion? Thanks. Some of it's just a normative effect that if you feel like you're in a situation that you don't have much control over, it's not unnormal or it's not abnormal or weird to feel some level of anxiety or fear of judgment of others. So I don't think that's weird, no. But again, like, is this helping you accomplish your goals? Then modify your behavior. You either got to modify your goal. Here's the answer to all these questions, all right? For all these little feelings questions or anxiety-related questions, here's the decision that you have to make. And only you can make the decision. Nobody else can make it for you. It's like, are you going to modify your behavior to be in alignment with your goals? Or are you going to set your goals a lot lower because you refuse to modify your behavior? You're either going to modify the behavior to step up to your goals, or you have to reduce your goals because of your bitch-ass behavior. Are you going to just have bitch-ass behavior and bitch-ass outcomes, or are you going to have the best ones possible to you? That's a decision you got to make. You don't do both. You don't get to have bitch-ass behavior and extraordinary outcomes. You're going to have to engage in extraordinary behaviors to have extraordinary outcomes. You have to do things that other people either cannot do because they're too stupid or will not do because they're too lazy. If you're not willing to do that, I don't know. What? That's the answer to all these anxiety questions. It's just true. It's like, be honest with yourself. Are you going to bring your fucking behavior in alignment? Are you going to behave in a way that would allow you to accomplish those goals? Yes or no? Do you fucking want it? Do you fucking want it, or are you just lying to yourself? Because that's a decision everybody has to make. I liked my goals more than I liked sleeping in. I liked my goals more than I liked having six-pack abs. I've lost a lot of weight recently. I do have, my ab is becoming quite sculpted, but it's still one ab. And you know what? I don't give a fuck. And you know who else don't give a fuck? Most pretty women don't give a fuck. I have enough other things that I'm useful with that they wouldn't mind having a man with one sculpted ab if he was very great at many other things. Shocking. But I never sat around saying like, oh, I want this outcome, but I also want to be a bitch. Oh, I want this extraordinary outcome that's, reserved only for champions, but I want to sleep in, I want to fucking prioritize my diet, prioritize my sleep, prioritize my fucking, 10 other things, prioritize time with my fucking puppy or some shit. I don't have a fucking puppy. I don't want to take care of it. I got shit to do. I have tough house plants. You know what I got? I have some very resilient house plants. I give them some fucking water and vitamins when I feel like it. Then I neglect their ass for 2, 3, 4 weeks at a time. I come back and give us some more water and vitamins when I feel like it. Some fertilizer. If they die, I don't give a fuck. Now, I wouldn't feel that way about a puppy. And that's why I don't make a commitment to take care of a puppy. I don't want to kill the poor little bastard. I wouldn't want him to suffer. I like puppies. I like dogs. I like a lot of animals. But I don't want to take care of them. You follow? So, don't stop lying to yourselves. Just stop lying and say, oh, I'm gonna have all the best shit in the world. But I'm going to fucking prioritize my sleep, and my diet, in my relationship with my current lover, or, blah, 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 blah. No, you're fucking not. Which one are you going to do? You're going to do one or the other. What's the real priority? And if your significant other is not, if they're not part of the end goal, get a new one. Get a new one. Keep your value high. I always think this way about myself. I've had long-term relationships. Some of them have been fantastic. I'm very open-minded about having a long-term relationship with the right woman. But I always kept my value high. I always made sure that I was always working on my projects. Because my primary thing was not that. My primary thing, and any girl I ever dated always knew that. It's like, oh, Derek's gonna go build shit. He's gonna get shit done. He's gonna go organize men, organize some other women. Gonna get a lot of things done. And when he takes some time to relax, we're gonna spend that quality time together. And Derek's likely to give her a to-do list. Say, hey, help me out with this and this and this. Have it done by the end of the day when I get back. I'm probably gonna do that too. If a woman fucking slipped and bumped her fucking head, and didn't want to follow those instructions, no worries. I'm not mad at her. I'm not gonna raise my voice. I'm not gonna hit her. There's no reason to hit a woman. No reason to raise your voice with a woman. But if she's not gonna do the things I'd like her to do, another young, beautiful woman's gonna be happy to do that. Somebody else is gonna be happy to take her spot. All right? If you don't think about your relationships that way, all right. But now they're gonna be a distraction. Now you got to do all the shit that you got to do, and you got to carry this fucking dead corpse girlfriend or boyfriend with you. Grotesque. Don't do this to yourselves. So, just make it a priority. Just make a decision. What are your priorities? This goes back to week 1, folks. Just make a decision. Like, do you really want something? Do you really want to live a special life? I think there's an old quote. It might be from Fritz Perls, an old psychologist. It might not be Fritz. I forget who said it, but I'd give him credit if I could remember who it was. I think Fritz Perls said, you could choose to be somebody or you could choose to be anybody. And that's the heart of your decision. Are you gonna engage in the efforts to be a somebody? Are you gonna make the investments? People call them sacrifices. It's not the right word. Are you gonna invest in yourself? Are you gonna do things that normal people would call a sacrifice, which you have to think of as an investment? You have to think of it as an investment that you lost sleep to work on your business. You have to think of it as an investment that when other people were fucking getting drunk, you were working on your business. You have to think about it as an investment that you were learning things about the stock market, about real estate that you might not even fucking use for 5 years, but you are learning about them 5 years ahead of time, and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. So you're ready when the opportunity presents itself. You're like, you got a plan, you know how to take action. You know how to capitalize on the opportunities available. You can see opportunities other people don't see and capitalize on them in ways that others would never be able to. Now, if you're not willing to make those investments in yourself, then don't be surprised when your future is poor. And think that through. It's like, if you're not willing to invest in your future, why the fuck would anybody else? If you don't love yourself enough to invest in yourself, why the fuck would anybody else? And don't be surprised. Like, I would never. I got a cold while I'm talking to you. I feel like sniffling a little bit. Probably gonna sneeze any moment. And I couldn't give a fuck. If I had, I've showed up and been with clients. I had, fevers, and I landed in a new continent and puked 3 times, and then showed up right on time to meet with the clients. It's like I don't care about anything. I've showed up to the client. A guy tried to mug me once in Las Vegas. Rather large man, And I showed up to meet the clients the next day with, big fucking cut on my lip. My lip was swollen, big cut on my lip, 2 broken teeth, badly injured ankle, really hurt. My fucking leg hurt for fucking 10 months. My fucking ankle hurt for 10 months. And by the way, his attempt at mugging was not successful. That I did not relinquish a penny of my valuables, but it wasn't a win, It wasn't a win for either one of us. He was very badly hurt. I was badly hurt. He was very badly hurt. And it wasn't a win for either one of us. And then I got to spend $4,000 on dental bills, okay? So I'm not saying this to brag to you, like, I'm a tough guy or something. I grew up with some tough guys, You know what ended up with my tough guy friends from childhood? They're either dead or in prison. They were tough guys. You don't want no trouble with those guys. But they either ended up dead or in prison. So I'm not trying to be a tough guy. That's not the point. But the point is, I am tough enough that I'm going to show up. If I made a commitment to show up, I'm going to show up. I'm going to be very reluctant to make too many commitments. But if I say I'm going to do something, I got to do it. I'll do it. And I don't give a fuck if I got 2 broken teeth and a fucking swollen lip. I don't give a fuck if I got a fucking headache or a fever. I don't give a shit if I got a little cold. And if you're going to get distracted by those things, I don't care if I'm sleep deprived. There's times I've been on these calls, I slept 90 minutes. And I had great days in the market and bad days in the market. I show up either way. Like, if you let your excuses distract you from your goals, just don't expect to accomplish your goals at a high level. But, make a conscious decision. Make a conscious decision about it. Do you even want this shit? Do you even want to win? What are the investments? Don't call them sacrifices. What are the investments where instead of spending your time with your bitch ass aunt that you don't even like, it's some bullshit holiday thing that you couldn't give a fuck less about, you need to invest that time in your business. You need to invest that time in reading a book, learning something new, being on this call. If you're not willing to make those, so-called sacrifices and view them as investments in your future, just accept the struggle. And expect. Accept that you're going to struggle and expect to struggle, because you're going to be. You have a lot of struggle. And shit results, because somebody else will outwork you. Somebody else will outwork you and take your fucking cheese. Somebody else is going to outwork you and take the fucking prize. So just expect that. If you are or on your way to be a millionaire or multimillionaire, probably going to want to spend time with my clients. Probably going to want to have a personal relationship with me so we can accelerate that process, get you living up to your maximum potential, earning your maximum wage. You're going to want to click that follow button. You're going to want to click that bell and get notifications. Tune in every Friday. Tune in every Monday. You're going to love what you see. I look forward to having you as a client in the future.